the unknown.
The unknown.
I'm the unknown.
All right, everybody.
Mystery man.
It's a Friday night, a little later than usual, Sometimes it could be 6, sometimes it could be 6:30, but we try and get around 6, and thanks for everybody that tapped in, that's with us right now, watching this live. As you already know, this man needs no introduction right here. Little man Beats, he already, we've been hanging out a lot lately, working, grinding on these beats, making some new shit, right? Getting it popping, little man, or what?
Most definitely, yeah.
Beat packs on the way soon, man, but it's going to be some exclusive shit, a little bit more like, if the homie feels like making one beat today, that's the one beat that we're going to, pitch out there and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys already know Mokoe Tattoo, man.
What it do?
Two local, I was going to say 2 Inglewood locals right here, man, from the Log Haven area and stuff, So that's a trip right there. This episode kind of just came to be in a little bit, man. It was going to be Little Man. We're going to have a little surprise with Little Man update. Mokoe was like, man, I want to shoot through, do some things as well, too. And here we are, man, just like that. Like I tell you guys, you never know who's going to stop by at the West Factory, man, because there's always something popping, something always going on. We some, how would I say, some move makers and stuff, the whole team, right?
That most definitely.
So what's up, man? How you doing, Mokoe? What's up?
Chilling, my boy just got off of work, came through right here, get it cracking. Hell yeah. Good looking out for having me here,
Yeah, there's always a spot, man. We got 3 chairs. I think that's the max, though, 3. If somebody else wanted to shoot through, we're on. ¿Cómo se dice? Turnear or lapse it, no?
Max out, yeah.
Now there's too many, fucking people going off, no, man?
Yeah. Turnear or lapse it. I know Little Man won't mind no lapse sitting and stuff, huh?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you guys ever remember being in the car? Like me, I tell everybody around here, I grew up poor as fuck, bro. So, I remember rolling in the car. It's like like my uncle used to have this old Toyota Celica. I don't know if you guys remember the Toyota Celicas and shit. Yeah, the 2 doors and shit. Yeah. They look like little fucking Hot Wheels and shit.
Yeah, little square fucking, yeah.
I don't know if they're still out there, but we used to be 7 deep in that car and shit, dude, And I remember rolling in the, like shotgun, but in the floor, dude.
Yeah.
And then like somebody was sitting in the chair and shit,
Yeah, that's
because it was
tough.
like, I mean, just my sister, my brother, and we're like 4 or 5 already. And we would go to the soccer games, and fools would be lapping in the front, lapping on the side and the back.
On the floor.
Like on the floor and shit, bro. We used to be dead. I just laughing because it reminds me of a little clown car and shit.
Yeah.
And they used to open the 2 door, and it'd be like 7 motherfuckers pop out that mug and shit,
The stereotype.
Yeah, for real,
The typical stereotype.
Yeah.
All the Mexicans up in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And who knows? People still do that, you think? They like, yeah. You've
I think
seen it?
there's
I
too
haven't
many
seen
laws,
it.
dog. I think there's too many laws now. Because I remember back then, shit, like dipping in the back of my pop's truck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on some Mexico shit, dog. Like, but this was like early 90s, dog. Like,
Yeah. Damn, right now, if somebody was to see that, dude,
That's like child endangerment,
they'll have
dog.
the sheriff station at your house by the end of the day and shit.
CPS on that shit. You got your
CPS,
kids in the
everybody.
back seat, yeah. Or in the back, yeah.
And they'll be like, damn, but that fool don't listen. I be trying not to go back there and shit. Nah, but there used to be some, I remember some like crazy stuff like that, bro, that right now is probably, I don't know if people still do it.
Super illegal.
And if people still do it, I'm not knocking on them because that's how I grew up and shit. Right now, if I tell my daughter, my daughter's 10, 11, and 9, right? And my son's 14. If I tell them to lap it, bro, they would be like, oh my gosh. They would be like all offended and shit, like what the fuck? What about you, little man? You remember any like hood I wouldn't say ghetto moments like that, but any hood moments and shit? Or like something like that?
Hop in the back or hop in the trunk and I'll just
In
pop
the
out.
trunk is
I'll just hop out.
Yeah.
And
the homies say
The
you
littlest
pop out
fool in
the
the
trunk.
trunk.
Yeah. Pop out the trunk as long as you can breathe.
And then we pull up to a party like that, fool.
Yeah.
And we'll do it like, hurry up, fool. Nobody's listening,
Oh man, that's the trick though. That is a trick. I do remember. My bad, that shit was funny though, And I'm laughing because I do remember a moment where we had homies hopping out the trunk and shit,
yeah.
But it's because,
sure.
hey, that's
They
the
were
only
trying to
means we
roll.
had, dude. If you're trying to roll, we got space in the trunk, dude,
Hey.
Luckily, I didn't have to roll in the trunk and shit. And I was a small nigga, so, I mean, I don't mean to say the N word, but that's how we kind of, we speak and shit,
What's going? Hey man, West Side Inglewood babies. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know, man. We all grew up like that, and I'm good at not doing it, at least in public, because that's a word we commonly use all the time, right? Actually, yeah,
But
good.
Smurfs with the homies right now, so that's, you know what I'm saying? So it's slip.
And that's actually a good segue, bro. So like, how do you feel about people that use the N word and shit, dude?
I definitely feel that I could see where it's disrespectful, but at the same time, I could see where it's just your product of your environment, dog. You know, all of us right here, we went to school in Inglewood, dog.
Yeah.
From what I remember, at least about half and half, 50-50, you know, it's like African American and Latinos, you know.
Yeah. And so you grew up, the word, everybody would say the word, right? I remember like growing up in the streets, and then you know, Inglewood is like half Bloods and half Crips and then Hispanics and shit, right? Like on like all over. I remember like growing up and clowning with our folks, and I mean no disrespect to anybody, but would be like when we were like on the Blood neighborhoods, everybody be like, "What up, cuz? Hey, cuz, what up, cuz?" You know. And then when we were in the Crip neighborhoods, everybody would be messing around, being like, "Blood, what up, Blood?
Oh,
what up, Blood?" You know.
Like,
but it was like a form of us joking around, you know. And we would use the N word more like as we talk, like, "Oh man, can you believe this?" You know, and then like that, right? What about you, little man? How you feel about folks using the N word nowadays?
I mean, honestly, I never really like care for it because it's been normal for us. It just in jail is a different thing. You know what I mean?
Like nobody says it in jail and shit.
I mean, yeah, but it's it's like I mean, it's a
you get a
way.
rip, dude.
Yeah. Like in county or in the pen, it's a different way. You know what I mean? Like
it's like insulting and shit.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to respect? It's a big respect, right?
We usually don't carry ourselves like that, but
So people use like essay more, or like
just
compa,
just try not to say it like not
like homie and shit, bro, brother.
They be the other people's they get offended or anything.
Oh, all right, yeah. So it's like kind of like so you don't start problems in a way,
just
no?
so there won't be no issues, yeah.
Oh, all right.
But all here, I mean, for me, like I mean, no, I don't. I mean.
Yeah. And then I know I was talking to an artist. I won't mention their name because we were just in the studio, and he was saying that a lot of people use the N word in raps. I hear it a lot, and it doesn't bother me one bit whether people say it or not. I think, but like I know that this artist was saying that it's just a lack of vocabulary, and I think there's truth to that, right? Like as we speak, we learn to use short words, mostly cuss words, slang words, right? So like, I'll speak for myself on this. I'm not speaking for you guys. To me, my vocabulary is very limited, right? Because I mean, I didn't go to college, right? I didn't do all this school thing. I only picked up what I needed to pick up enough to be able to count money and know I wasn't getting ripped off and work and communicate, right? But like I was one that I would say in shit after every sentence, like like that was me too. Oh man, I'm gonna go over here and shit. Oh man, and shit. Oh, give me one of them sodas and shit, right? Like that was me, dude. But that was because I had right.
Come on, Chunti, yeah.
But and then one person pointed out because I was at work one time. And they would see me, and the HR lady was telling me like, "Hey, like you're always saying shit after each sentence. You might offend somebody or something, and, And then I was like, I don't do that and shit, But then I caught myself, and then I started. Once it registered, I'm like, oh man, I do say it a lot. My wife used to point it out, everybody, and now like I make it like I don't want to say an effort, but I'm kind of like conscious of how I say words. Yeah. And then when we're kids, we always talk about like. Nah, fool, or like you like, oh, that's some whack ass shit, fool, and then those words can come out offensive now that you're an adult.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Right, you can't talk to a grown ass man that way, right? So
it's like, who you calling a fool? Even they had
that
issue, like, who you calling a fool?
Yeah, who you calling a fool, man? Yeah. So I guess that's a lot of, but it's messed up, not messed up, but it's kind of how we grew up speaking. So if you don't break those habits or somebody doesn't tell you, you'll continue speaking that way. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's what you want to do and stuff, like me personally, I would hate to fight over words that I'm choosing to use and shit, so but nah, that's trippy to get some of that. But that's what this artist told me. He said basically people that use the N-word is just a lack of vocabulary. That was his opinion and stuff too, But I do see more of the younger people using it now than the older people and stuff, right? So it's, I guess, part of growing up in a way, no?
Or maybe they're more comfortable with their homies, like as friends and their peers saying it. But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't want to say it around like in a business area, older people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you end up like me in the HR office, bro. You know,
like, hey, you gotta cut that shit off.
The HR.
I'm still tripping out.
Yeah. I was gonna file a discrimination suit for language barrier. I'm joking. Nah, that would have been whack. But nah, that's dope. So yeah, speaking of where we grew up and all that stuff, dude. So like, what's going on with Morningside? Is it closed yet, or like?
I'm not sure. I seen the homegirl Raina and the homie Casper, they were there. I don't know if they're doing like some kind of like school prevention, gang prevention thing. I want to say, but
and Dopey too, right? And young Dopey, they're all helping with the community, like I think counseling or something like that. I'm not sure, right? You know.
Shout out Raina. Shout out Raina.
Yeah. Shout out to the team trying to do something positive out there, man. I think that's dope right there for sure.
Raina, Dopes, Casper.
Yeah. You were going for a minute too, right?
Oh yeah, no. Actually, they went to go show me, and I'll probably, I'll probably end up working right there with them.
Oh really? I'll get a job. Like it's like counseling, like gang intervention type stuff.
Try to help out. You know what I mean? Like with the gang counselation and try to prevention. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope, dude.
Now that you say that, I want to say that I guess Inglewood High School and Morningside High School for a couple of years they're gonna be together.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go to Morningside, but this is only for a couple of years, and then after. This is from what I understand, right? They're gonna hook up Inglewood High School, and everybody's gonna go to Inglewood High, and they're gonna eliminate Morningside.
We're gonna switch up,
So it is gonna close down.
Oh, it's gonna close down.
Because they closed down all the schools right there in the Log Haven area already, right? Worthington
and Woodworth.
Woodworth and Monroe, right?
Yeah.
Monroe too?
Monroe's closed down or not yet?
I don't think so.
That's the middle school right there, but
that's the only middle school, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then they still got Bennett Q though, no?
Bennett's also a middle school too now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
My little boy goes there. He's a kindergartner.
Yeah. So he'll be there 6 years or 8 years now, or
now, 8 years. He's gonna be there for a minute.
Man, so they are changing stuff around the line, huh? Yeah. Man, it's crazy to see all that change and stuff, and I think it's part of like what's going on right now in this in this new presidency, man, where they're getting rid of like Trump's a gangster straight up, bro, right? But they're getting rid of the education department, so there won't be voices for schools like this,
that, right? Yeah.
They just fired a gang of people, but every president fires people, right? Like Clinton fired a gang of people, like they clean house basically with what they think is inefficient, So basically, they had that guy from Elon Musk doing some efficiency reports, dude, and he outlined a bunch of stuff that supposedly wasn't was wasting money and shit, dude, and
that's
hopefully
that dude that owns the SpaceX, right?
Yeah, SpaceX, Tesla. He has a solar company
on 120th and Crenshaw.
Yeah. And then he probably didn't erase all the grants that their company get also from the government to help their research and development and shit, because a lot of these companies, man, they use a lot of our tax money, bro, for research and development, but then they make profits off of everything that they make and shit. So that's kind of whack, but I guess that's the way it's been working for some time.
All
and
the
shit.
resources.
They use the resources from the people, but then they sell it to the people at high rates, high prices.
Crazy.
Yeah, speaking of current events and all that, dude, like how y'all feeling with? Are you guys familiar with like the tariff situation of what's going on right now with like things that they're gonna raise tariffs from China and raise tariffs from Mexico and stuff like that?
You know what? I'm not really big on that, but I did hear about it, right?
Yeah.
I could imagine it's all about the money, basically, to get more money for the U.S.
Yeah.
I guess.
Put the mic closer to your mouth a little bit, no, so that the audio comes out dope.
Yeah.
So like tariff is basically a tax
tax
that people pay. Like when you make something outside of the U.S., you basically pay a tax, the company, to make it come to the United States, right? For basically is a tax for not making it in the U.S. And that's how they keep certain products made in the U.S. and certain products made overseas, right? It's like a way they control jobs in a way, right? Yeah. Because like if, for example, if it's cheaper to make in China, people would move the manufacturing to China. That means there's no jobs here to make that, right? But if they make it here, it would be so expensive. It's like buying this pole, right? And then you're gonna be paying what would I say? Like instead of $10 in the US, you make it in China, you pay $3 and shit, right? So that's the difference. But now if they put that tariff right now, everything has a different tariff, like 3%. Like shoes has the highest, like 22%. Shoes made overseas, you pay 22%. So if it's $1, you're paying $1.22 just to bring it in plus the profits, right? So if they raise it like 30%, that's 30% off whatever they're paying. So everything's gonna go up.
It's gonna be that hike.
Yeah, it's gonna hike up all the prices here, right? Immediately too. What sucks about that is that if people won't be able to afford it, right? So if people can't afford it, then people can't. They start canceling jobs, and then now you have like no jobs. People can't buy it. And now the government's gonna pump money into the U.S. like those stimulus checks they all gave us. it's all good, but that's what created inflation because they put more dollars in circulation, so the dollar loses value. So it's just this cycle going back, right? Where it's like higher tariffs, less jobs, more expensive, and then it's kind of like,
well, that sounds horrible.
yeah, it's horrible, right? But this is the beginning part of it.
Yeah.
And of course, these presidents, they're probably smarter than the average folk. Like, I mean, I just know how it works, but they must have a plan to counter it, right? Like, I'll raise tariffs, but we'll do this, like kind of like that, right? As long as they don't, I mean, as much as I want a free $5,000 check, I know in the long run that $5,000 check is gonna be worth less than 5,000 because you can't buy shit.
Right.
You get me?
Yeah,
right.
So the value is gonna go.
It's gonna like now you're gonna go like look at eggs right now because of this virus that happened with the eggs with the chickens dying and shit. Eggs are like $8 for 12 for a dozen, bro. That's crazy, right? There's some eggs that are like if you buy organic shit, you're paying like 15, 16 bucks right now and shit, you know? So that's the bad stuff that you see when they should be tackling those issues and shit.
No, definitely. That's what I was gonna say.
Because that could happen with cows. And then we don't have no milk, right? Or then that can happen with the veggies. Now, you know, we like salmonella happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then like now we don't have veggies, we don't have fruit. And imagine everything that comes from Mexico, bro. Avocados, like you know how in the U.S. and I'm ranting. Drop a comment if you guys think I'm ranting, but this thing I'm very passionate about it because it bothers me, you know.
Oh shit.
But like say from Mexico, we raise tariffs from Mexico. We get avocados. We get like and everything here is mostly imported because if we grow strawberries, they're only gonna grow in season, right?
Okay.
So then we bring strawberries from other countries here, so we can have strawberries every day of the year.
All day.
Yeah, avocados the same. Oranges the same, right? Otherwise, we only get certain stuff per season, and then it'll be more expensive because we can't get enough to feed America, right? We can't have a bunch of orange trees to feed everybody. So yeah, it's just a trip. Things to think about. Like this is what affects. Like tariffs, this is what it affects. It affects the whole thing, bro. Down to like the like me going to the grocery to buy some food. You know,
that's important.
Yeah. You know, so it creates more jobless, more homeless, and more reliability on the government, which is what we don't want and shit.
Hell
you know?
nah.
And this is not a political show, but you know,
I mean, we want to see better prices.
Lower prices.
Lower prices. Yeah.
But we need more jobs here too. So you know, it's kind of like you know, give or take and shit, right? You know. But yeah, so that's cool. At least you know, hopefully it all gets worked out, and the government has a big plan to save America and make it great again, no?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, dog, like definitely
for everybody,
prices.
not just one race and shit. You know, we need to make it great for everybody, though, man. Yeah, but and another thing we wanted to you know switching back to like the music and what we do and all this stuff, man. You know, we were just in the studio with Gangsta Wish. Y'all been seeing those videos we've been posting and shit?
Yeah. That was like yesterday.
Yeah. We had a couple of studio sessions and you know Gangsta Wish is pumped up, man. He's ready to work and shit and dropping some bangers with Knockout and Thais, man. Shout out to Knockout, Thais, Itzel, and Gangsta Wish, man. We were just out there in Oxnard doing our thing and shit, man. And we bringing some new flavor. I know y'all, if y'all haven't heard that Toxic Love CD, y'all gotta go and bump that shit, man. But we got some new flavor coming. How'd you feel being in the studio, back in the studio with the with the crew, man?
Oh man, it feels good. All that energy, positive energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gets you pumped up, you know what I mean? Ready to go.
And you know, Little Man's been there since the get go with off the gate. I mean with Gangsta Wish, right? So you were making tracks with Gangsta Wish for like the very beginning and stuff. How was that a little bit, man? Like, how did that feel? Like seeing where you started and where you're going now, right now, you know?
Oh man, that was very good because it's been a minute, you know, it's been a while, and you know what I mean. I know we haven't seen each other for a while, for a minute. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that was pumped up, you know what I mean. Like that was very good, you know what I mean. We gotta have some shit. We gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah, right. And then, you know, Little Man's going to be making some beats. So you already started, bro. So how is that feeling again? Like getting started on making your beats all over again, everything, man?
Oh, man. I feel like it's, 2000 again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
a little flashback and shit?
Yeah, like feeling young. All that.
About to be 25 years and shit?
What year did you start?
Damn. Honestly, okay. I would say... When I remember when we did the first one, I'd say around 2009 probably.
That's what I was going to say, 2009.
Yeah, around 2009.
Where are we frozen, Dumbo?
Oh, shit.
What are the cameras doing right there?
I think we're frozen. Oh, yeah, somebody just confirmed that. Jerry Kids 18. Good looking now. He said you're freezed.
What the fuck?
Some connection? I know I got like one
We're
bar.
back on or no?
We could just start over, no? Not like just go back on live or whatever.
What are you doing right there, Colonel? I'm gonna mute it right quick.